Hey everyone, welcome back to Kubrick Corner Film Reviews with me, Sean Wilson. So today I just want to talk in a general philosophical sense about a movie that's come out in the UK just recently, which is Call Me By Your Name, which I reviewed for Flickering Myth. I'll include a link to the actual review itself here on the video. I don't really want to sort of repeat what I said in that video. I just want to essentially record some impressions about having seen the movie a second time round just recently. I was lucky enough to see this movie at the London Film Festival back in October, and now I felt compelled to go and see the movie again because it's such a beautiful experience and it really does unfold like a beautiful flower on second viewing. Just a general sense. It's directed by Luca Guadagnino, who made I Am Love and A Bigger Splash, both with Tilda Swinton, and who is also behind the upcoming Suspiria remake, also with Tilda Swinton. And it focuses on the summer of 1983 relationship between Timothy Chalamet as Elio and his father's research assistant Oliver, played by Armie Hammer, all amidst the landscapes, gorgeous landscapes of northern Italy. It's a beautiful film. If it's on near you, go and see it. It will break your heart and it will also inspire you as well. And the main source of inspiration, I have to say, comes from a scene I didn't actually mention in my written review, which I kind of consider a bit of a false step, although I kind of did it because I didn't want to actually give any indication about it really. I wanted it to be a surprise for those who were going to see it. But there is a scene towards the end of this film, yeah, spoiler alert by the way, spoiler alert. There is a scene towards the end of this film in which there is a speech given by the brilliant Michael Stuhlbarg as Elio's character, which is, I have to say, one of the most breathtakingly beautiful speeches that I've seen in a film in living memory. Now, I know as soon as you invoke the words speech and movie in the same sentence, you think, oh, here we go, this is going to get really sanctimonious, really platitudinous. This is so obviously scripted by a screenwriter who wants to flag the big emotional moment in capitals. That doesn't happen at the end of this movie. This is one of the most honest, true closing speeches that I've ever seen, and it really gets to the heart of really both the themes of the movie and also why the movie is such a beautiful experience. So at the end of the film, essentially you get that gut-wrenching termination of the relationship between Elio and Oliver. They've had a very, very vivid, beautiful summer together, and then all of a sudden it's undercut when Oliver has to go back to America. And the brilliance of the film is that that sequence is done in a very, very unstated manner and very blunt. You know, your life can be happy one minute, and then all of a sudden it's completely undercut, and you're forced to, you know, confront the difficulties of life on your own. And it's the very, very affectionate, very loving, and very magnanimous response by Michael Stuhlbarg's character that really seals the deal on this movie. And he's basically playing a father who is completely, he knows what's happened between his son and this research assistant. He knows they've had a same-sex relationship together, but he is so completely accepting of it, and he's able to look beyond that. He looks beyond the fact that it is a gay relationship, and he basically says what you had was something remarkably special that not very many people have. And it's basically, the movie is making a case for people of all orientations, all creeds, all races, all lifestyles to basically be accepted as one. And it's done through the character of Michael Stuhlbarg's character, who is just so wonderfully warm and loving. Normally in dramas like this, when you get a same-sex romance, there is normally some kind of parental conflict on the cards. That doesn't happen in this movie, albeit this is adapted by from a novel by Andre Ackerman, so we should acknowledge that. But the movie absolutely does not go in for those kind of cliche melodramatics. This is a depiction of a parent and a parental relationship that is absolutely beautifully warm-hearted and beautifully accepting. And it's about a father enforcing to his son the importance of falling in love, if only for a brief time. He said, you know, it's better to have, it's essentially an embodiment of the it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all mentality, but not done in a sanctimonious, annoying way, not done in a maudlin way, but done with absolute honesty, with no syrupy music in the background, with no overall camera work, just a beautiful performance from Michael Stuhlbarg that really, it really makes this one of the most, open-minded movies that I've seen in a very, very long time. And I mentioned in my my second look Blade Runner review on this channel about how Blade Runner really is a movie for this time. Really, Call Me by Your Name is a movie for this time as well, because, as I said, it's not a movie that gets bogged down in orientations, homosexual versus heterosexual relationships. In the end, that is almost by the by. It's a movie about love. It reminds me of what Ang Lee actually said about his film Brokeback Mountain, which is that it's not a gay romance. It's a romance that happens to involve two men, but the principles of the storyline extend to everyone, whether you are gay or straight. And I think the same could be said of this film as well. And I think that a movie that dares to imagine a world in which everyone can be happy, and in a movie that dares to imagine that the parents will subsequently be happy for the characters, is, I hate to say, is actually very refreshing, and I think actually quite unusual. Do go and see the movie. It's really, really beautiful, and it's really, really well done, and it's going to be in my top 10 of the year. And I really hope that Michael Stuhlbarg gets an Oscar nomination for almost being the anti-Oscar performance. Normally the Oscars like to award melodramatic, quite tedious, overblown acting. Well, anyone can do that. That's not really difficult. To make understatement and normality interesting, that is the sign of a really good actor, and Michael Stuhlbarg nails it in this movie. He's in the movie all the way through, but really it's this last sort of 10-minute sequence at the end. So it's really, really impressive, and heartbreaking and beautiful and moving and inspiring. I'm Sean Wilson. You've been watching Kubrick Corner Film Reviews. Until next time.